Dear students, on the screen and off the screen, all those who are there with us at the admin portal, and all those who are here with us on Zoom session also. A very good morning to all of you children. So I hope you have been studying well for your CA foundation. And today we are going to start with a new act, a new chapter, that is Indian Partnership Act. So I hope you have studied well about your Indian contract, sale of goods and other chapters. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Nandini Sharma, Akshay, Ritika. Okay, Nandini Sharma, just before coming to the class, has a query. Okay, ma'am, I have a doubt regarding picking up of questions to practice. Okay, don't worry, Nandini. We'll discuss about this during the session. Good morning, Palak, Ansupa, Akshit, Ansh, Amit, Vagmere. Good morning, children, all of you. So, children, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is Indian Partnership Act. So before we begin the session, let me ask all of you that few years back, Indian Partnership and Sale of Goods Act were part of another act. There was a very big act. Can you name the act of which Indian Partnership was earlier part of it, and now then later a separate act was made, that is Indian Partnership Act 1932. But prior to 1932, Indian Partnership Act was part of which act? Excellent. All of you have answered it correctly. Vedan, Nandini, Khush, Shah, all of you. Indian Contract Act. So when you write Contract Act, you should name it fully now. It's Indian Contract Act 1872. Well done. All right. So let me see how many of the students are here with us on the admin portal also, and whether they have answered it correctly. Okay. Miss Kaushal, Mr. Pavan Kumar. Okay, good morning, children, and correct answers given by all. Sai Kishore, Anuspa, all of you are correct. Indian Contract Act 1872. So earlier, Indian Partnership Act 1932, which we're going to do today, was part of Indian Contract Act. So since Indian Contract Act became too huge, it had all the provisions related to different contracts, whether it was the agreement related to sale and purchase, or it was the construction contractors business, or it was the partnership agreement. Everything formed the part of Indian Contract Act. So in 1832, in 1932, it was decided. In 1930, we segregated the sale of goods from the Indian Contract Act, and a separate act was formed for the sale and purchase of goods. And then in 1932, all the provisions related to partnership were extracted from the Indian Contract Act, and a separate act, that is Indian Partnership Act 1932, was formed. Now, why it was formed? So that whenever people have any disputes or any problems related to the partnership thing, they will simply open up the Indian Partnership Act 1932 and they will refer to it. Otherwise, they had to open the huge books of the Indian Contract Act, and then they had to search for it. Now they have a separate act for that. So we have exclusive 3 chapters for this act, which we are going to do in the coming years. But as always, I love to motivate the students before starting my lecture. So here is visualizing your success. So I hope you all are studying well and you have visualized your success. What is the meaning of visualizing your success? I have a hardcore belief in this line that hard work is the key to success. If you're working hard, God is always watching you. So I believe God help those who help themselves. So you all are Chartered Accountant Foundation students. You have just entered the course of this beautiful CA journey. And many a times you might feel all these ups and lows, that the syllabus is tough. How will I do it? How will I finish it off? Law is quite huge. It happens. It comes to your mind. Like, I can judge it. Yes, Akshat, I'm here only for your partnership. So don't worry. I will be taking your class. Don't worry. And like just before we started, Nandini came up with a query. Even without wishing good morning, she was so anxious and worried about just so that I can ask my query. So this worriness, this anxiousness do come to your mind when you are a CA student, specifically when you're a CA foundation student. So what you have to remember is a small tip so that you can succeed beautifully in this CA journey. always remember to visualize your success. The moment you feel low, everybody should, at least behind their law book, shall write it down that yes, I am going to be a chartered accountant one day. I'm definitely going to become a CEO one day. So whenever you feel low, just take out that page and just read it out to yourself and remind yourself that tomorrow you'll be sitting in that big CEO office, either you will be into any kind of field, either you'll be doing a job or a practice. I am going to be a chartered accountant soon. So that spirit should be very well built within you. And when you have set that goal for yourself, then remind yourself that I have to really work hard. No going back and thinking that, oh my God, I forgot. Now I've started sale of goods. I forgot Indian contract. I started studying partnership. I forgot sale of goods also. Then there was LLP also. Negotiable instruments is also coming up. So syllabus has increased. But relax, do it well. Remember that hard work never goes waste. If you have studied one, so 3 times revision has to be given to the entire syllabus. How do you do it? First, you are studying with all the teachers over here. Everyone is making so much effort to make you understand each and everything. So you should always sit with your pen, papers, notebooks ready and keep writing down the notes, whatever we are telling you. Secondly, you should sit at home and revise whatever you have studied in the class. And third will be your actual learning and revision part. And then just before the exam, flip through the pages. So 4 times if you have gone through the study material, and study material is the Bible for you. Everything that comes out in the paper is from your ICAI module. So you don't have to go here and there looking for different books. You can, at least for law, you can refer easily your ICAI module, and very beautifully Institute has updated your modules. You have Saransh, you can refer to that also. It's a ready reckoner, which is just giving you a summary about all the provisions. So you must refer to all these kind of things. Your MTPs, RTPs should be well done, but can you read it out? 5th point, only after completion of syllabus. Never try to scare yourself. I have done this chapter, now let me solve the MTPs. No, you should always try to look for the questions of the chapters that you have done. You will definitely confuse yourself if you have just done Indian contract and partnership and you jump into the questions of Companies Act. You will no doubt feel scared because you have not done that syllabus. But when you have done that syllabus and then you read those questions, things become very, very simpler for you. So it's very important that all of you should know your syllabus well. Don't be confused between what is the syllabus from 2024, June and September. You have seen the question papers. The new syllabus have already been implemented. So you can refer to the previous question paper also for your revision practice. But yes, the syllabus should be very well on your tips. You should know what all is included. Effective study plan should be prepared. You should make a study plan for yourself, how I'm going to allocate the hours. Allocating hours means I don't advise students to go as per day wise that these many days I'm going to complete the subject. Always allocate hours to each subject because all the subjects have equal importance. You cannot ignore, if you're doing law very well, you have ignored the other subjects, again, the story goes there only. So all the subjects should be given equal importance. Keep making down notes and very important, being consistent. Don't start feeling low. At any point of time you feel low, I have told you, write it down at the back of your book. I am going to be a chartered accountant soon and I can do it and I will do it. That should be your spirit whenever you come to the class also and whenever you. Okay, Akshit, MTP is mock test papers. Okay, and RTPs is your revision test papers. So all those papers shall be done by you only once you have done the syllabus. Okay, now you should move ahead. Now I have told you the summary of Indian Partnership Act, how it came. Yes, thinking of using flashcards for provisions. Yes, Vedant Gupta, that's a very wonderful method. You should prepare your notes and these kind of activities which help you to remember all these kind of things. And those who are asking about these sections, as far as CA Foundation is concerned, you can leave the sections. Sections are not compulsory for you to remember, but what is mandatory is that the provisions of the law, you should be writing it down correct. All right. So let's begin section 4 of the Indian Partnership Acts. First, we'll be doing the definition of partnership. What are we going to do in this chapter? We'll be discussing about the detailed essential elements of partnership. We'll discuss its definition, and section 4 tells the elaborative 5 essential elements. Each and every point will be covered from the study material also. After that, section 6 is a very new thing for you, true test of partnership. Now, partnership is something that you have been hearing in your business studies and accounts chapter also. Have you heard about partnership before? You have done number of questions also in accounts related to partnership. So now you're going to study the theory part, the law part of it. Then how it is different from other forms of organizations. That is a sole proprietor, your company, your private and public companies, what is OPC and what is partnership, how they are different, what is LLP and partnership. So there are different forms of organization, a club, a co-ownership, all these are kind of organizations. And then we'll be doing about the kinds of partnership and types of partners. So let's begin with the definition. It says, good morning, Saleha, Satyam, Dubey, all those who have joined now. So welcome to the class. So section 4 tells you that partnership is the relationship between persons who have agreed to share the profits. So let me just take the annotations. So we don't have annotations. Somebody from technical support can help me. I want to use those. Can I use a pen over here? Can I get that? Excuse me, sir. All right. No worries. I think we don't have it over here. Anyways, partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So relation means that there is an association between two or more persons. So can we have a single person as a partnership? No. Good morning, Rashmi. A single person is only a sole proprietor. So let's discuss about different forms of organization that we have. If I am individually doing a business, I'm running a business as an individual, then I'm a sole proprietor. Tomorrow, if I've hired a worker for my shop, he will be my employee. He does not become my partner. Just because I'm paying him a salary, he's working in my organization, he will not become my partner. To make him my partner, I need to enter into an agreement with that person. What is the meaning of agreement? Can you tell me? You have done Indian Contract Act so nicely. What is the meaning of agreement, children? What do you mean understand by the word agreement? Agreement is a type of contract. Okay. Proposal accepted. Okay. So it's an arrangement that we have made between two or more persons that we have agreed to share the profit. So agreement is, okay, Ritika says it's a proof. So it's the decisions that is we have decided, whatever things we have decided between the partners, it is an agreement. It is known by the way of partnership deed. Very good, Rashmi and Palak. It is a partnership deed which includes all the agreements. It is a promise or set of promises to perform. Very good, Lokesh, Vedan. Everybody is answering well, so that's great. So, agreement along with enforceability by law becomes contract. So again, that's why Indian partnership is form of contract act only. But now here we exclusively talk about the agreement that we have made between the partners, which is also known as a partnership deed. So we have made a contract with each other. So minimum two people have to be there, two or more than two people. I just explained you, the single person is always a sole proprietor or a single person. Can a single person open up a company? So when we go to Companies Act, I'll be teaching you that a single person can definitely open up a company also, because in order to encourage entrepreneurship, and in order to promote people to come and set up their own businesses, government has now come with a concept of PC, that is one person company. So single person can have a company, single person can be a sole proprietor, but single person can never be a partnership. For partnership, minimum two or more than two people are required. Second thing is that they have made an agreement, they have signed an agreement, they have contracted for all the rights, liabilities, and obligations. Very good, Neelam, Kush, Anusupa, all of you have given the correct answer. Lokesh, correct. So they have agreed to share the profits of the business. So you are doing certain business, then only you are known as partnership. So whenever we speak about partnership, there always have to be a business between that. Carried on by all or any one of them acting for all means principle of mutual agency has to be present. So each and every word will be explained in detail from the study material also. But let us understand first from here the presentation, what are the essential elements of the partnership. Gauri, you want to ask something? Yes, Gauri, you can speak. You have a question?
Ma'am, what about the loss, ma'am? If loss occurred, what if they share the loss also like profit?
Okay, mute yourself. Very good question, Gauri. So sharing of profits does not mean that we are just going to eat the profits and divide it among self. The profit includes losses also. So if you have been doing in your accounts, you have been preparing to A, B, C sharing of profits. If the agreement has given a ratio, you used to share it in the ratio. In the same way, if you have a loss, you will be sharing the loss also in the similar kind of ratio. And if the partnership deed is silent about the ratio in which you have to share, then how you used to share it? You always used to share the profit and losses? Yes, right, equally. So when we do the profits equally, then we have to share the losses also equally. So that is very important. You should know that these are the features of partnership. Yes, Sanket Shah, these are the features of partnership. All right. Good, Gauri, it's clear. So, like you share your profits, you share your losses also. So, partnership is an association of two or more persons. The partnership is a result of an agreement entered by all the persons concerned. So, all the persons have agreed, then only you can come into partnership. Can I say that A, B, C are into partnership, but C has not signed the agreement? C is not ready to, C has not given his consent. Then can we say that he is a part of a partnership? No, ma'am. Why? Because you should have given your consent. Then only you become a partner. Pavan Kumar, Shoaib Ali, Miss Kaushal. Good. Yes, Miss Kaushal. That will also happen. Okay. The partnership is the result of the agreement entered by all the persons, and partnership is organized to be carried on any kind of business. So if I say, now listen carefully. If I say that two and more than two people have entered into partnership, and the partnership, it's not actually a partnership, but they have portrayed. Gauri, can you just put your hand down? Okay. So if you have any doubts, then you can raise your hands. Let me just complete a little bit topic and then we will move into the doubts, okay? Yes, Lakesh, it is not a charity. Partnership is not for charity. You have to do certain kind of business. Excellent. So if A and B have purchased a land in Delhi and they have taken a plot of 1 lakh rupees and now they have given that plot on rent. They are the joint owners of that property and they have given it for the rent. 20,000 per month they are earning rent out of it. Let's assume it's of 10 lakh rupees plot and 20,000 rupees rent is coming to them every month. Now they have made an agreement. They are two and more than two people. They are minimum two people. They have made an agreement that whatever rent will come, we'll divide it among ourselves into 1:1 ratio. Now, can we say that A and B are entered into partnership if they are dividing the rent derived from the land? No, ma'am. These are not business. All right. These are not business. Yes, absolutely correct. The underlined words are the subtopics, means these are the essential elements. Correct. Khush, Anuspa, Sudeep Kumar Jain. Good morning, Sudeep Kumar Jain. These are subtitles. Yes, you can say that these are the highlighted points which make it clear how you have to learn the essential elements. And also in the exam, you should underline the things because it becomes more visible and clear. Saleha Farms, absolutely correct. No, ma'am, it is not a partnership. Why? Because in order to enter into a partnership, you have to enter into an agreement to do the business. Here, you simply purchase the land. You are co-owners. What do we call you? You will be called as co-owners, means together you are owning and sharing the revenue from certain set of land. Agreement must be to share the profits of the business. So if there is three partners, A, B, and C, they have entered into an agreement to share the profits of the business and they're going to do a shoe business. Now, the agreement says only Mr. A will take all the profits at home and B and C will not get anything out of the profits. Can we say it's a partnership? What does it mean if only A is taking all the profits home and B and C are just getting a salary? Then A is the sole proprietor. You have to divide the profits in whatever ratio you want to divide, that you can decide it as per your partnership. Very good. All of you have given the correct answers. So agreement to share the profits. Each and every point of section 4 is important, children. Examiner can give you a question on any of these points. Like a case study, I just told you that A and B and C are partners, but only A is taking all the profits home. So you will simply write down that one of the essential element of the partnership is that the agreement must be to share the profits. But if only one of the partners is taking all the profits, then it is a sole proprietor. It is not the case of partnership. Business must be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. What is the meaning of this? Mutual agency. Now, there are three partners, A, B, and C. Whatever work A is doing, B and C are also liable for the work done by A. So that means they're acting as the principal as well as agent for each other. You cannot say that only A is acting as a principal and B and C are agent. Everybody is acting as a principal as well as agent. So now, since you have done the chapter of contract of agency also, can you tell me what is the meaning of principal and agent? Lokesh Narayan is asking a question. If both of them purchase the land and then put it into rent, then can it be a partnership? So very good question, Lokesh. If we are purchasing the property and we are selling, we are property dealers. We are into the business of purchasing the land and putting it on sale or giving it on rent, then yes, we can be partners. But where we are just co-owners, we are not doing any business activity, we are just driving the rental income and sharing it among ourselves, then we will not be considered as partners. Divyansh Bhatti, we will go into the study material and I will explain you the cardinal principle. Agent means the person who sells the goods on behalf. Anusupa say that. Okay. Vidhan Gupta says the principal is the represented. Agent is the person representing. Okay, that's great. So let's take a small example. I am sitting over here in Delhi and I have hired somebody in Gujarat to do business on my behalf. So I become the principal and I've hired an agent, Mr. A, who is acting on my behalf in order to do the business in Gujarat. So this person who is acting on my behalf in Gujarat will be called agent. Okay. So principal is the kind of owner. Yes, Ansupa, principal is the owner. You have rightly understood. So principal, I am the owner of the goods and I have hired Mr. A, who is the agent, who is going to do the business on my behalf. Now, I have given him the authority to act. I have given the authority to this agent to act and he's acting within that authority and I am also liable for his actions. So if tomorrow agent does anything wrong, they will try to get hold of the principal, who is the principal behind this business. So this is the meaning of principal and agent, which you must have studied in detail in the contract of agency also. So similarly, partnership is also a principal and agent relationship between the partners. So if A goes and buys stuff from the market for the business, then the supplier can recover the money from B and C also. Let's take an example. There are three partners, A, B, and C. Mr. B has purchased movie tickets for his family. Since they are principal and agent, A and C are also liable to pay for this movie tickets. Mr. B has purchased movie tickets for his family. A new movie has come up in the cinema and he was tired of working day and night, filing all the returns and doing all that kind of work. He's a chartered accountant partner. And now he has booked the movie ticket for his family. The bill was yet to be paid to the cinema. Now, can the cinema guy recover the money from A and C also? Let me see the answers. No, ma'am. Excellent. Why they're not liable? We just understood their principal and agent. Why? Because this is not related to business. Very good. Excellent answers given by all of you. Since it is not related to business, so it is a personal thing that you're doing, then the other partners are not liable. But at the same time, listen carefully. Mr. B has paid certain money to a contractor for doing certain kind of business activity for their firm. Now the contractor, can he recover the money from A and C? If he has spent the money for business, yes, ma'am. Then he can recover it because it is for the partnership. All right. Understood. So we have broadly done section 4, the essential elements. Two and more than two persons, agreement has to be there by all the partners should have agreed. Even if one of the partner does not agree, then it is not a partnership. And then it must be to carry on some business. You must be doing certain amount of business, and it is to share the profits. Profits include losses also, and mutual agency principle has to be present. Now, what does section 6 says? If you'll see the picture, beautiful picture shown in the slide, it says, although the partnership include everything, mutual confidence, agreement, transferring of share, capital will be bought, liability will be unlimited. Do you know the liability of partners is unlimited? They bring in the capital, they share the profits, and they have huge liability. Their personal assets are also liable for the business. You cannot say that I am a partner and I will not pay for the liabilities of the firm. Your liability is unlimited. Sharing of profits and losses, all these things are part of partnership. But law tries to tell you now, since you're studying law, as of now, you have studied in accounts about the partnership. Now we are understanding the law part of it. So Indian Partnership Act tells you how will you determine that any form of organization is a partnership or not? What is the true test to be applied in order to judge it? Like I told you, I'm a sole proprietor. I've hired Mr. Ramu in my shop. I'm paying him salary. Will he become my partner? You all said, no, ma'am, you have not made any agreement with him. He's not your partner. You're not sharing the profits with him. He's not having mutual agency. So he's not a partner. So what test has to be applied in order to decide that this particular form of organization is a partnership or not? There are three important tests to be applied. Now, these three tests are actually part of section 4 only. Out of section 4 only, we have taken them out. But it specifically tells you section 6 that there are three tests to be applied. Number one, there must be an agreement. So if me and Ramu tomorrow we enter into an agreement that, okay, fine, I'm going to pay you the salary. So you'll say, okay, ma'am, agreement is there. But what is the agreement to pay the salary? Is it to share the profits? Let's go to the second point. Are we sharing the profits of the business? No, ma'am, you're not sharing. You made an agreement, but the agreement was only to pay the salary. We're not sharing the profits. Okay, let's take another example. I made an agreement with one of my friends, say ABC, they're three partners. I want to write it down. I don't know why I cannot write it down. I cannot see the annotations over here. Okay, just keep writing whatever I'm telling you. ABC are three partners. And now these, out of the three partners, Mr. A dies and Mrs. A is wife of Mr. A. So they are all were partners. Now agreement was between them to sharing the profits. Everything was there. Now since Mr. A died, we decided, B and C decided that certain amount of sum of money will be given to Mrs. A, who was the widow of Mr. A. Because Mr. A is not there, so his share of profits we are going to send home for a certain time. Till the time everything is not winded up, we are going to give the share of profits of Mr. A to Mrs. A. Now, please think carefully and tell me, agreement was there with Mr. A to share the profits of the business. Now, since Mrs. A is getting certain profits of the business, will she become the partner of the firm? Can we say now Mrs. A, B and C are the partners? Yes or no? Let me see your answers. No, ma'am. Legal representative. Only for the benefits. Naina Verma, Nandini, Satyam, Almas Banu. Very nice. Palak. Beautiful answers, children. Great, great. Yes, KD Kamath and company will be explained. Why are you worried? Saleha Farm, Sai Kishore, Deanshi. That means we are all on the same page. Excellent. You have understood it well. No, ma'am, because the third principle also needs to be seen. That is the principle of mutual agency. Can we say that Mrs. A is also liable for the firm? If B and C are purchasing goods for the business, will Mrs. A also pay for it? No, ma'am. She's only taking the benefit. She's only getting the money as a legal representative of Mr. A. Therefore, she is not liable to the firm. She is not having a part of mutual agency. That is why it is not the case of partnership. So it's very important. Very good. No, ma'am, she is not liable. Naina, Shivam, Kumar, all of you are correct. So it is very important to see these three basic principles in order to conclude any form of organization to be a partnership. Number one, there should be an agreement between the persons. This agreement should be to share the profits of the business, and the business must be carried on by all or any one of them acting for all means. It shall be having the principle of mutual agency present in it. Now we are going to do two important case laws, KD Kamath and Company, Section 4 case law. Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, Murzamul, Section 6 case law. But before we proceed further, let me take you a round of study material, what we have studied so far and where are we actually. Any doubts? Anyone wants to ask any doubts? Meanwhile, can ask it. Okay, I hope the screen is visible to all of you now. The general nature of partnership is the chapter that we are doing. See how beautifully study has made all these abbreviations and small charts for you to understand. So first topic is what is partnership? We have understood the definition. Now we are doing essential elements and true test of partnership. So this is your partnership's definition. It says the persons who have entered into the agreement are individually called partners. So A, B, and C are known as partners. And what are they collectively known as? What are they collectively known as? They are collectively known as a firm. So ABC together will be called as a firm. And the name under which they are doing the business is known as firm's name. So ABC Associates is the firm's name. All right. So together they are known as firm. Can you say Mr. A is a firm? No, ma'am. Together all the partners will be known as a firm. Individually, what will be called Mr. A? Mr. A will be called as a partner. So these are the essential elements. Let me read it out for all of you. So you can divide it into different points. Association of two or more persons. So number one point is there must be two or more than two people in order to form a partnership. Only persons recognized by law can enter into partnership. What is the meaning of this line? It says a firm cannot enter into the partnership. Now there is a firm ABC Associates and they said that instead of taking a partner individual, we'll take whole of the firm only as a partner in a firm. Can a firm join as a partner? It says no. A firm cannot. What is Anil asking? No, ma'am, why she is not liable? Anil, please type your question. Are you talking about Mrs. X that she is not liable? So if you're talking about, yes, Mrs. A, she was not liable because she was not a partner in the firm. Okay, and why are you writing the word partner of the company? We are not doing company. In company, we have members. In partnership, we have partners. Okay. Corporate veil does not apply on firm as it is an association of people. Okay, Vedant Gupta, very good. So it is a separate legal entity concept which is applicable on the company. Divyansh, yes, a company can be a partner. Naina Verma, no ma'am, because firm is not recognized by law. Okay, Anil, good, you have understood. So it says company can be a partner. Why? Because company has a separate legal entity existence. A company has a separate legal existence means company is different from its members. Children, when company is incorporated on filing the documents with the ROC, Registrar of Companies, a new person comes into existence. Although that person cannot be seen or touched, it's an invisible, intangible thing. But yes, the company is given birth on the registration incorporation. So company, yes, Lokesh Sharma, company can enter into partnership. But a firm can never enter into a partnership. Why? Because firm is not a separate legal person. It says only persons recognized by law means that means a company can enter into a partnership. Firm is not a person recognized in the law means firm is not a separate person. Firm is collective name given to all the partners. Is that clear? Yes, Pavan Kumar, you can use the word company as suffix because in order to actually form a company, what words are required? Limited and private limited. So if you're using ABC and company, it can be a partnership also. Okay. Can a minor become a partner in my firm? So the answer is, see, from just 2-3 lines of this topic, so many questions are given. Yes, who has unmuted themselves? You cannot unmute without permission, children. Keep yourself on mute. Okay. So a minor cannot be a partner in the firm, but with the consent of all the partners, he can join for the benefits of partnership. So there is who is a minor? Somebody who is below 18 years of age. So there is a child who is 15 years of age and he's son of Mr. A, the partner. He also want to join the partnership firm. Number one, he can join the firm if all the partners give their consent. So A, B, and C and three partners, three of them have agreed that, okay, Mr. S, the son of Mr. A can join, then yes, he can also be a partner. If he's a minor, still he can become the partner in the firm. But can he be liable for the losses? No, ma'am, he is only enjoying the benefits. Enjoying the benefits means he's only for the division of profits can be done between the minor, but he will never be liable to the firm. Is this clear? All the 3-4 points of association of 2 and more persons is clear to all of you. So company can be a partner, a firm. So you can write down briefly on the side of this topic. 2 or more persons are required. That means one person cannot have a partnership. Company can enter into a partnership. Firm cannot enter into a partnership. Minor can join the firm, but only for the benefits of partnership. And the last point is maximum number of partners. So what is the maximum number of partners? Let's discuss about that. Yes, Divyansh's liabilities up to contribution, and there's section 30 of the Indian Partnership, which will explain in detail about the minor. So as of now, we have simply understood that minor can join the partnership firm, but only for the benefits of partnership, not for the liabilities. All right. Now let's move ahead. The maximum number of partners. It says Partnership Act does not tell you how many number of members shall be there. But section 464 of the Companies Act has put up a limit of 50 partners in any association or partnership firm. So where is this maximum number of partners given? It is given on the Companies Act 2013. So Partnership Act does not tell you about the number of partners. Ritika is asking, can unsound mind join into partnership? No, Ritika, a person who is of unsound mind, or even if a partner has become of unsound mind, then he cannot join as a partnership. You know why? Because whenever I told you, partnership has come out of the Indian Contract Act only. So all the essential elements of the valid contract must be present in the agreement that you're making between the partners. So it shall not be expressly declared to be void. There should be sound mind people who are entering. There should not be any coercion, undue influence when you're entering to partnership. They shall be offer and acceptance to given both to each other. But since it is not a sale, the consideration is to do the business for each other. Okay. So all the essential elements of the valid contract must be present whenever you're entering into partnership with another person. And the maximum number of partners is defined in the Companies Act. If you refer to the Companies Act, there the limit of 100 partners is given, but the rules supersede the Act. What is the meaning of rules? So Company Rules 2014 has given that maximum number of partners shall not exceed more than 50. So 50 is the maximum cap. So children, whenever an act is made, it is a very, very big, huge thing. All the parliaments, Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha will give the consent, and then the president's consent will be taken, and by notification in the official gazette, an act is formed. So a lot of formalities are done when a particular act is formed. Now, in order to make any kind of amendment or changes in the acts, it is very difficult to change whole of the act in itself. Like Companies Act 2013, it went undergo, whole of the act was changed. But now if any changes are being made, there are rules which are made as a part of act. In those rules, the amendments and the changes keep coming. So as per company rules, the limit of 50 partners has now been fixed to the maximum number of partners. Is that clear? So next point is about the agreement. Agreement has to be between 2 or more persons, and it shall be entered by all the persons concerned. It can be an express agreement or it can be an implied agreement. What is express contract and what is implied contract, children? I would appreciate you telling me about this thing because it will help you to revise also. Express means by words spoken and written. Implied means it can be from your actions or it can be an oral agreement also. So if orally we have decided to form a partnership, can it be done? Can we have an oral agreement? Yes, ma'am, because Partnership Act provides for the oral and written, both agreements can be done. But it is always preferable to have a written agreement so that tomorrow, if you have any fights regarding the sharing of profits or regarding the nature of business, then court can refer to your agreement, whatever rights and liabilities you have decided, they can be shown to the court easily. Otherwise, oral agreements become difficult to be proven in the course of action in the court. Okay. So absolutely correct. The definitions of the words express and implied has been very correctly given by all of you. Let's move to the third point. It says business should be there. So number one, there should be existence of business, and that business should be to gain acquisition of gains means to motive should be to acquire profits. If I have purchased, say for example, I'm into the business of selling these crayon boxes, and I purchase the crayon box of 100 rupees and I sell it for 100 rupees. Then I purchase an ink box, it is of 70 rupees, I sell it for 70 rupees. I purchased a box of pencils for 15 rupees, I sell it for 15 rupees. So I'm not earning any profit. I'm just purchasing, I'm paying to the vendor, and then I'm collecting it from the customer. I'm acting as an intermediary. So business, this is not business. You can, or I'm selling 100 rupees thing, I'm selling it for 80. I'm going into losses. So the business has to be there for acquiring of gains means 100, even if it is the market rate as prescribed has been written, but still I should be earning in the bulk of it 1 rupee for few boxes or 2 rupee or certain paisa amount, whatever should be there, certain amount of gain always have to be part of partnership. And the agreement shall be to share the profits. You can see in this picture how one person is taking all the profits at home. Then this is not a partnership firm. Partners must agree to share the profits as per the ratio decided in the partnership deed. But an agreement to share losses is not essential. So now what does it say? It says that it is not necessary for you to share the losses, but yes, as if it is silent, then you have to share the losses also. Yes, Lokesh, that's good because it is always, in fact, in many places it is mandatory to have the written agreements. Why it says so? Because then only it becomes things very simpler in order to prove it in the course of in the court. All right. So agreement to share the profits, we were discussing. Agreement to share losses is not essential. There can be certain partners who are joining only for profit only, so they will not be allowed to pay for the losses. And if it is not agreed, whatever ratio we have decided for profit sharing ratio, the same ratio will be used for sharing the losses. Now let's read these three examples. Example number one says co-owners share among themselves the rent right. Is it a partnership? In example number one, what is this case known as? Is it a partnership or co-ownership? Absolutely correct, children. It is the case of co-ownership because they're just driving the rent. They're just the joint owners. All of you have given the correct answer. No charitable institution or club can be considered as partnership. So you went to a gym and you took its club membership. So have you entered into partnership with that gym? If you go to a gym, you have become its member. You have not become their partners. Okay, so this is again difference between club and a partnership. But where X and Y buys certain bales of cottons and they have made an agreement to sell it on the joint account. They're having joint account means together they're doing the business. And they have also agreed to share the profits equally, then they will be considered as partners. Which fifth element shall be present in X and Y in order to conclude them to be partners? The principle of mutual agency should also be present. That is what we're going to discuss in detail now. Business carried by all or any one of them acting for all means mutual agency principle. What is joint stock company can be floated? Sai Kishore. So joint stock company is another name given to a company. So when we go to the differences between partnership and company, you will understand it in detail. Yes, a joint venture is when together you have taken up into partnership. Yes, Vedant Gupta, that's correct. Business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. Let's take this example for A, B, C are partners in a partnership firm. A made certain purchases for the purpose of business from Mr. K. Can K recover the money from A, B, C as all the partners are liable? Can he do that? Why can K recover the money from A, B, and C? Because each partner is acting as a principal as well as agent of each other. All of them are liable for the business. They are not liable for the personal assets. If you have taken flight tickets for your family to go for a trip, then you cannot recover from other parties. But at the same time, if A has paid money for going to Bangalore, and that is he is going for a business trip to meet another party, so then travel agencies can collect the money from any of the partners of the firm. All right. So KD Kamath and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, we are going to do in a while. Any doubts still here, children? Because we have largely covered the essential elements. And after the break, we will be covering in detail about KD Kamath and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. Yes, Dhyansh, you want to ask something? Please unmute yourself.
मैम
Yes.
कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल क्यों बोला जाता है
Okay,
उसकी चीज
okay,
को?
I'll tell you. So the cardinal principle, like अगर हम कहते हैं हमारी ह्यूमन बॉडी में जो हमारा हार्ट होता है ना, वो हमारा कार्डिनल फंक्शन करता है ना, हमारी हार्ट बीट चल रही है तो इंडिविजुअल इज वर्किंग वेल. सो सिमिलरली कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल मींस म्यूचुअल एजेंसी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फंक्शन है पार्टनरशिप का. अगर आपने एग्रीमेंट कर लिया, okay, you made an agreement, you're sharing the profits also, you're doing the business also together, but you're not dependent on each other. See, for example, Gauri, me and Kiran, we have entered into partnership, but Gauri does the work on her own. We are not liable. Kiran and me are not liable. Then it is not a partnership. So cardinal principle means mutual agency has to be present. Then only we all will be considered as the partners in a firm. So if all the four elements are present, but if the fifth one, mutual agency, is not, then it will not be considered as a partnership. All right? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Piyush.
मैम एक्चुअली आपने बोला था कि जो भी शेयर रहेगा वो इक्वली जाएगा पार्टनर्स को, मतलब जो डिसाइडेड रहेगा.
No. Partnership profits will always be divided as per the partnership agreement. If
Okay.
nothing is written in the partnership agreement, then generally we do it equal.
Okay. Ma'am, again one more doubt.
Okay.
You said about the liabilities of the partners, and आप जब समझ लीजिए 3 पार्टनर्स है और एक पार्टनर ने अननोन, मतलब ए ने कुछ लायबिलिटीज ले ली है और बी और सी को वो पता नहीं है.
Okay.
Are the B or C liable for the A done by A?
Okay. So Piyush, mute yourself. When we do chapter number 2 of partnership, section 23, 24, 25, exclusively till section 27, deal with all these cases which you are talking about. There you will be understanding if any partner is trying to do any kind of fraud, because section 19 to section 27 exclusively talk about your liability of the partners. There you will understand this question. Okay.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Anil, you are asking about the difference between co-ownership and partner. That we'll be doing in a while. Yes. Anything else you want to ask? Anil.
No, ma'am, no.
Okay, we'll be doing that, all the points of differences. Anybody else has any question till now, whatever we have done? So after the break, we'll be covering the KD Kamath and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. And meanwhile, just go through the pages of the essential elements. Let me check in the chat box also. Yes, if not mentioned, Lokesh, that's correct. Okay, Sai Kishore and Nandini says all clear. So that's great. All right. So let's take a small break here. All right. Let's proceed further. So now we are going to discuss about the case laws, that is K.D. Kamath and Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. You have understood all the detailed definition of partnership. We have done the essential elements. Now, what is K.D. Kamath and Company case law? So what happened in K.D. Kamath and Company? There was a partner, K.D. Kamath. He was having entire power and control of the business in his hand. Just a second. He was Yes. So he was having the entire power and control in his hand by the agreement of the parties. So there was a partnership organization in which K.D. Kamath and there were other, let's assume ABC, and other three partners were Mr. A, B, and C. And they all have decided that K.D. Kamath, you really do the business very well. So why don't you keep the power and control of management in your hand? Is vested in one partner, or the further circumstance that only one partner can operate the bank accounts or borrow on behalf of the firm. So he was given the exclusive power by the agreement between the partners that you will only maintain all the control in your hand, you will only operate the bank accounts, and you only can do the borrowing on behalf of the firm. So law says that what happened was this case went into Supreme Court. High Court said that you are a sole proprietor since you're having all the power and control in your hand. The other partners are just your, they are just in your firm, but you're not having any partnership because you are controlling the entire business. You are having the bank accounts in your name. We have to see whether you're a partnership firm or not. So High Court said that no, you are a sole proprietor, because when we see apparently, we see that everything is in your hand, K.D. Kamath. So you are the owner of the organization. So you're a sole proprietor. But then angry K.D. Kamath and company, they went to the Supreme Court to prove themselves that they are the partnership firm only. There are certain charges which were to be payable on by them on the against the sales tax officer has filed a case against them. So against that case, they went to an appeal in Supreme Court. Supreme Court held two essential conditions to be satisfied. Supreme Court said, do you have an agreement to share the profits and losses? K.D. Kamath said, yes, we have made an agreement among ourselves and we share the profits and losses. Then Supreme Court said, are you carrying on the business on behalf of all of them within the meaning of Section 4? That means, are you a mutual agent? If you operate the bank accounts, are A, B, and C still liable for that? If you are controlling the management of the parties, are the other partners still liable for you? Whatever the other parties are doing in the business, are you liable for them? K.D. Kamath said, yes, this is what our business strategy is. This is how a partnership firm actually works. So Supreme Court held this in judgment of K.D. Kamath and company that it is not important to just see the single aspect that who is managing the business. There can be certain partners who are very proactive. Say, for example, there are three partners, ABC. Mr. A is having very good communication skills. So for all the general meetings, we send Mr. A to do the meetings with the clients, and B and C are handling the back-end work. So that is the arrangement that we have made. Now, we are partners. We can decide how we want to run the business. Law said as far as agreement is there, they're sharing the profits and losses, and they are having a mutual agency relationship, then you are a partnership firm. It does not matter who goes to the bank accounts on your behalf. Okay. Amit Wagmare is saying, ma'am, can you explain the case law in Hindi? Okay. So हिंदी में इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि केडी कामत ने कहा कि हाई कोर्ट ने कहा कि आप एक सोल प्रोप्राइटर है. सोल प्रोप्राइटर मींस आप एक इंडिविजुअल अलोन बिजनेस करते हैं, आप पार्टनरशिप नहीं है, क्योंकि सारा कंट्रोल आपने अपने हाथ में लिया हुआ. आप ही बैंक अकाउंट्स को चला रहे हैं, आप ही बोरिंग कर रहे हैं, तो आप पार्टनर नहीं है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा अगर आप शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स करते हैं, आपका एग्रीमेंट है और म्यूचुअल एजेंसी अगर प्रेजेंट है, सो देन यू विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ पार्टनरशिप फर्म. तब भी अगर एक बंदे के हाथ में कंट्रोल है, देन ऑल्सो इट विल बी कॉल्ड partnership firm. Clear, Amit? Is it clear to you now? Okay. Vedant Gupta, acting on behalf of all, are you asking the meaning, or are you just saying that yes, if they're acting? So means that all of you are acting on behalf of each other. Means if I say something, then you are also liable. Okay, good. Partnership agreement is also known as partnership deed. Do you agree with this, children? Partnership deed is also known as partnership agreement, is also known as partnership deed. Yes, ma'am, because that is the meaning given to the partnership agreement. So now what is the true test of partnership? So section 6 has come out from section 4 only. Agreement, sharing of the profits, carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So agreement, we have understood that partnership is by an agreement, not by status. What is the meaning of status? So in case of Hindu undivided family, you become the member just because you're born in that family. Burmese, Buddhist, husband and wife carrying on the business are not partners in such business. Hindu undivided family members are not partners in the business. They are part of the family business. So even by birth, you become the member of HU. Okay. But in partnership, if there are 3 partners, A, B, and C, and A got married to Mrs. A, and then he had a son, Mr. S. Will Mr. S become a partner in the partnership? Tell me. Just because one of the partner has had a son in their house or a daughter in their house, just by birth you become a partner. No, ma'am. Why? Because yes, husband and wife can be a partner if there's an agreement. That's correct. But why the son does not become, Lokesh? Why? What's the reason? Why? Because you need to sign an agreement. Yes, a minor can become a partner, but then you need to have an agreement. Obviously, by birth, nobody will become a partner. But yes, agar 16-year, 15-year, 17.5-year child wants to become a partner, then still an agreement is required. Okay, he will not be a partner. Very good. Because agreement is important by contract, not by status. Sharing of profits. So all these points are very important. Examiner can give you a question on any of these points. So when I say lender of money to persons engaged or about to engage in any business, it says if you're receiving the profits just because you are the servant or agent of any organization as a remuneration, salary is being given. That example where I hired a Ramu and I'm giving him salary, he's not my partner. Where any widow or child of deceased partner is getting the money, he is not a partner. Previous owner or part owner. So I purchased the business of from Skechers people. I said that Skechers, please can you sell me your shoe business? I want to take over your business. So I paid them certain amount for their goodwill also. Just because I've paid them for their goodwill, I've given them the amount out of my profits will not make me a partner in their. Similarly, if I've given any loan to someone, lender of money means giving a loan to someone. There was a child, Mr. B, who needed some money, and I am a partner in firm ABC Associates. Now, if I have given my money out of my share of profits as a loan to someone, it will not make Mr. X the partner in my firm because he's getting my share of profit. It is a loan. So loan is not share of profits. No, Anil, the wife will not become the partner unless you have made an agreement. So if wife enters into an agreement, she agreed for the sharing of the profits of losses and mutual agency, then she will become a partner. Okay. If lender has received any security of partnership property, Pavan Kumar, that is a separate story where you're receiving any security. You do not become a partner even if you have received any security. Okay. So sharing of profits is a prima facie evidence. One second, just let me correct it. Prima facie evidence and not conclusive evidence. What is the meaning of word prima facie? What is the meaning of the word prima facie? So a teacher went out of the classroom and all the students started shouting and fighting. So the moment teacher came back in the class, Mr. B was hitting Mr. A. So whom will the teacher scold, Mr. B or Mr. A? If when the teacher came back in the class, Mr. B was hitting Mr. A badly. Lokesh, Pavan Kumar, Nandini, all of them, they want Mr. B to be scolded. But did you even bother to know what happened? Why B was hitting A? Nobody bothered. Why? Because ma'am, prima facie evidence. Now, this is what is appearing in front of the screen, that B is hitting A. So this is what the teacher will do. She will scold Mr. B badly because, yes, Pavan Kumar, Shoaib, Ms. Kaushal, all of you keep answering. Students on admin portal, I am checking your answers also. So since Mr. B has been seen hitting Mr. A, देखा हमेशा सच नहीं होता, Lokesh is saying. Okay. So that is the meaning of prima facie evidence. So prima facie, all of you agreed immediately, ma'am, because this is what we can see. So if there are 3 people who are sharing the profits among themselves, so it says prima facie. Apparently, it means that there are partnership only. So like we were sharing the profits in the rental income that we were getting. So it seems as if we are partners. But it is not a conclusive evidence. So prima facie evidence means jo dikhta hai. But when the teacher spoke to Mr. A, what happened, Mr. B, she scolded Mr. B. So then Mr. B said that Mr. A has stolen my expensive watch. So that was the conclusive evidence. Story was something else. That's why Mr. B was hitting Mr. A. But hitting is obviously not a good thing to do. That is a very bad thing. Or maybe Mr. A was hitting him when the teacher was not there. That's why in revert he's hitting. So what is the real story? You have to know that. But apparently what appears in front of your eyes is known as prima facie evidence. So now you will never forget this word, prima facie evidence. So prima facie means what is appearing in front of your eyes, what is apparently looking. So sharing of profit seems as if the partners, it is a partnership organization. But why does it say it's not a conclusive evidence? Then what is the conclusive evidence, children? It says the prima facie, it seems that, okay, you are sharing the profits, you're a partnership. But then what is the conclusive evidence? How can we conclude that, yes, you're a partnership? Absolutely correct, on the basis of mutual agency. Absolutely correct. All of you have given the correct answer. So if you have a mutual agency relationship, then only you will be considered as a partner, not just by having the agreement. So the task becomes difficult when there is no agreement, nothing speaking about the partnership, and the testing of partnership, section 6 has to be referred. So section 6 tells us the real intention between the relevant facts have to be taken. Cumulative effect of all the relevant facts means the real intention has to be seen. That what is the real intention? Are you sharing the profits just because you are brothers, or just because you are family members, that's why sharing the profits? Or are you really doing the business? Are you having a mutual agency present? Then only you become a partner. Say, for example, a husband and wife, they generally, whatever earnings that they get from their respective business, they share it among themselves. So it does not mean that they're partners in that business. So you have, that is a prima facie evidence. They're sharing the profits from the business, whatever they're earning. So that means you have to see whether the mutual agency is present or not. Agency. Existence of mutual agency is the cardinal principle. So before going to the break, I explained when Anil asked about cardinal principle, you all are clear. That is, it is very important as of a human body part. Heart is the cardinal organ. Similarly, agency is the cardinal organ of the partnership. It helps us in reaching a conclusion. So it is a conclusive evidence. Existence of mutual agency is very important. Now, all these full paragraph is same line, which we have been doing since morning. One of the partner does anything, it binds all the partners, means other partners also become liable. So let's jump to Santi Ranjan Das Gupta versus the Shriyan Murzamul Supreme Court judgment. It held, in this case, KD Kamath and Company was held as partnership because there was an agreement sharing of profits and mutual agency. But Santi Ranjan Das Gupta was not considered as partnership. Why, ma'am? Because the parties have not maintained any terms and conditions. There was no partnership between the parties because, number one, there was no agreement only. So law says you are doing everything, but you don't have any agreement only. There is no record to prove that you're partnership. Then things become very, very difficult. They had maintained no accounts of its own. Means there were no business accounts. There were no bank accounts which can be inspected. No bank accounts were opened with the bank, and no written intimation was sent to the Deputy Director of Procurement. So whenever any newly created partnership comes up, sometimes we get the registration done. Although registration is not compulsory, but a Deputy Director of Procurement is generally informed that a new partnership has been created. So there was no intimation conveyed to them. There were no bank accounts. There were no business accounts, leisure subsidiary books were not there, which could be inspected. So law said you cannot simply say that, that this company is this firm is a partnership firm. So that's why the case was filed. Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, it was held that it is Supreme Court held that since there is no partnership agreement, so it will not be held as a partnership firm. Sometimes people file fake applications just to gain the benefits of partnership. So it has to be seen as a entire thing. Okay. So Pavan Kumar, then you have to go into the entire case law and you have to study that what was the form of organization. Simply, it was a sole proprietor. No? They were just simply having number of people working with them and he was just trying to gain the benefit of partnership. But since there was no partnership between the parties, it was held that since no records were maintained, no terms and conditions have been entered, that's how we concluded that it is not a partnership. Vedant Gupta is saying partnership accounts or firm accounts have been adequate to prove it. So definitely, if you have any agreement, any kind of books of accounts are being maintained, there shall be certain proof, that yes, you are partners. If you have no proof, then how can you prove that point? That's why partnership agreement is preferable to be in written. And there were no sharing of profits. There were no people also who were sharing the profits. Okay. Yes, Nandini Sharma, if any such kind of clauses of fraud happens, then penalty will also be charged on the same, but you don't have to go into that much detail. Generally, we speak about the penalties when we're doing Companies Act. As of now, you simply have to remember Santi Ranjan Das Gupta, since all the records were absent, there was nothing to prove. In order to prove any point, we need three basic points, that is agreement, sharing of profits, mutual agency. If these 3 points are absent, then yes, you are not a partnership firm. All right, understood everyone? Everyone is clear on section 4 and section 6. I hope both these points are absolutely clear to all of you. The case laws. Those who are asking, ma'am, do we have to remember the name of the case laws? Then yes, you can remember, because Partnership Act does not have many case laws. This is only the 2 basic case laws, and few of them you have done in sale of goods also. The major case law part is in the Contract Act and Companies Act. So as far as possible, since you're not remembering the sections in foundation, but the name of the case laws, those we are doing in the class should be remembered. Now let's understand how the partnership is different from the company. Now, how we have to learn it? It is very, very simple, but the learning becomes very important, because when it comes to learning, examiner can give you straight 7 marks question. Okay, students, I forgot to tell you, if you would have referred to June 24 and September 24 paper, around 20 to 25 marks paper was from partnership. So don't take chapter of partnership very lightly. Any question can come from any of these 3 chapters. And around 10 to 12 mark questions were from the dissolution chapter only. That is chapter number 3. So it is very easy. But again, the thing is that learning has to be done. So for example, tomorrow company versus partnership differences come just for 7 important marks. So it is so easy to gain at least 6.5 or 7 marks in this question. But you will gain only if you have learned it. If simply you ask me, ma'am, partnership is the partnership firm in which partners are working and they're having unlimited liability, company is a separate legal entity concept. That will not work. You have to, for 7 marks question, at least 10 points have to be written. So 15, 20, good 15, 20 points are given in the study material, out of which all the important points we're going to cover in this presentation. So how you have to learn it, the basis of differences, if you learn, then the internal thing you will remember on your own. So first is legality. Company is an artificial judicial person. What does this mean? It says company has its own separate legal existence. When we go to Companies Act, I make you explain the Salomon versus Salomon case law. That's the leading case law of Companies Act, which tells you that whenever a company is incorporated, a separate person comes into existence. So company is separate from its member. It has its legal existence. But at the same time, partnership is not a legal person. Partnership is combination of all the partners taken together is known as the firm. All the partners together are known as firm. Partnership is not legal person. Perpetual succession. Company has a perpetual succession, means a permanent succession. Company keeps running on and on. It never comes to an end. So if company is having 3 directors, all the directors died in a car accident, will the company come to an end? It says no, company has a perpetual existence. Yes, company is a legal artificial person. Tata Group is different from Tata family. Very good, Lokesh. That's absolutely correct. Similarly, Ambani is different from the Reliance that they follow. Reliance is the company and the owners are different. So there is a separate legal entity concept. Similarly, if all the partners have died, company still continues to exist. Name of the company has to be striked off from the registrar of companies. So that we will understand in Companies Act. But as of now, company has a long existence. Perpetual succession means it continues to exist for long. But partnership form does not have perpetual succession, means partnership, when all the partners dissolve it, they end it, then the partnership form will come to an end. Company is created by registration under Companies Act. So whenever you want to open a company, we have promoters who will come up with an idea. They will go and under section 7, they will take all these steps of incorporation of the company, and that is how the company is incorporated. But partnership is very simple. You simply sign a paper of an agreement and your partnership is created. You don't need any legal formalities or any registration is not compulsory under partnership. Clear first 3 points? Clear everyone? Company and partnership form. Let's move to the fourth point. So company, children, can be a private company, public company, or another company that I just explained you, OPC, one-person company. How many people are required in OPC? Tell me. Since the name itself suggests one-person company, so even a single individual is needed in case of one-person company. Very good. How many people are required in private company? Minimum 2, maximum 200. And how many people are required in public company? Minimum 7 and unlimited number of members when you talk about the maximum number of members in public company. So there are different type of companies having different number of members in case of a company. But what is the case? What is the case of partnership? It says, as per the Companies Act, the number of members in partnership shall not exceed 100, but a rule is given which restricts the present members to 50. So minimum number of members will be 2. Very good. How many will be the maximum number of partners in partnership firm? You cannot have more than 50. Naina Verma is saying 100. Vedant Gupta says 50. Let us see where the confusion comes up. So how many of you say 50? Hurry up. Maximum number of members will be how many in case of partnership? Piyush, Nandini, Almas, Saleha Farms, Prapreet, Divyansh, Lokesh, everyone is saying correct. How can Companies Act impose restrictions? So Pavan Kumar, since Indian Partnership Act is silent about this, so section 464, which is part of your CA final syllabus, when you go over there, you'll understand about these sections. But as of now, since no provisions were given under Indian Partnership, so Companies Act has imposed a limit that you cannot have more than 100 members. So this was written when, yes, Vedant Gupta, definitely company can amend the law on Partnership Act as well, because Companies Act is wider than the partnership. Because, you know, companies can be a partner. That's why they have put up a limit. Otherwise, companies continue to be partners in any number of firms. So there is a limit because companies in itself can also be a partner in a firm. So 100 was the limit fixed up in the Companies Act 2013. After that, I told you rules came up. So Companies Act rules, miscellaneous rules 2014 said that you cannot have more than 50 partners. So the maximum number is now known as 50 partners. Good, Nandini Sharma. Yeah, it's like that only. All right, understood all of you, number of members. Don't get confused. Don't write 100 in exam. Now maximum as per company's rules, restrict the present to 50. Distribution of profits. Do we have profits in company? What do we have in company, children? You invest the shares and you get the dividend out of the profits. But in partnership, do you have shares? No, ma'am. We invest the capital and we get the sharing of profits as per the partnership deed. Is that clear? What is the meaning of point of property? In company, the property of the company is separate from the property of the members, and they receive it back only in the form of dividends or a fund of capital. Either dividend is paid throughout the company's running, and when the company goes into winding up, the capital is refunded. But the firm's property is a joint estate of all the partners. See, for example, ABC, they decided to open a partnership office in Rajouri Garden in New Delhi. So they bought lights for the office, fan for the office, table, chair, furniture, all the luxury items, decoration items, and all the important books, income tax books, Companies Act. They have set up their own office and they have bought in all these kind of things. Now, all these assets are the joint property of all the partners. Any partner can sit and use that table. Any partner can use that tube light whenever they want. Say partner A has got an expensive air condition for the business. So that is not belonging to Mr. A only. Anyone can use that air condition. So all the assets of the firm are the joint estate. Joint estate means every partner have a right on that. Okay. But this is not the case of company. You have taken up shares in Reliance does not mean that you become the owner of the Reliance and you have the share in the property of Reliance. So property of the company is separate from the members who receive it back, but you only get the dividends out of it or a fund of the capital. Is that clear point of property? Transfer of shares. Shares of a private company can be easily transferred. Now, this is again your CA intertopic when you do section 56, 55, transfer and transmission under Companies Act. There you understand. अभी के लिए कितना समझना है कि shares of private limited company can be transferred. But partnership share cannot be transferred without the consent of all the partners. So in chapter number 2, we understand how the sub-partnership is created. Otherwise, you cannot very easily transfer your share of profit to any outsider. All the partners' consent is needed if you want to transfer any of your share of partnership to another person. Clear, children? These 3 points are also done. Now let's move to the last 4 points. Liability of, in case of a company, it is divided into 3 different companies: company limited by shares, company limited by guarantee, and unlimited liability companies. So unlimited liability companies, the name itself suggests that the liability of the members will be unlimited. There is no limit on it. But in case of company limited by shares, they have a different liability, and company limited by guarantee has a different liability. So that we understand when we go to the chapter of Companies Act, your first lecture, types of companies, you will understand all these points. But what is the liability of partners in partnership firm? Tell me, is it limited by shares, limited by guarantee, or what? Liability of members in a partnership firm is limited or unlimited? Children, you have to answer me. All of you have to answer, not just Vidan and Lokesh, Almas, Nandini, Naina, Saleha, all of you, Divyansh, good, Anil, everyone, excellent answers given. Yash, Sheikh, Ibrahim, Pratham, it is unlimited, ma'am. So excellent. So the liability of the partners in partnership firm is unlimited. After that, let's talk about the agency relationship. In partnership, we all are agent of each other. But are we agent in case of company also? Can you say that if you have invested shares in Reliance and you become the member of Reliance, now Reliance is liable for whatever you are doing, sitting at home? No, ma'am, we are not agent of each other. In company, mutual agency is never present. That's why mutual agency is the conclusive test for partnership firm. That is only present in partnership when we talk about the agency relationship. Okay. Then let's talk about the management. Here the directors, members can take part in the management. They are the partners. Here the word directors and shareholders is used who are managing the company. And in case of partnership, the word partners are used who are taking care of the management of the firm. A company is wind up by National Company Law Tribunal. Now, what is this NCLT? NCLT is a very big body which is taking care of all the matters related to the companies, courts and everything. It is basically a court for a company. Whenever the company has any problem, instead of going to High Court and Supreme Court, it will go to NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal. It is a court for the company's acts to be taken care of and get its name struck by the registrar of the companies. So whenever the company is winded up, first of all, it shall wind up by the NCLT only, and the name has to be struck off, means the name has to be removed from the ROC, that is Registrar of Companies. But a partnership can be easily dissolved by the partners when they have agreed to dissolve. So how does the winding up of partnership firm happens? It happens on the dissolution of the firm or dissolution of the partnership. Clear, children? Oh, yes, it's a body corporate, Pavan Kumar. It's a huge organization. It is the kind of a court which takes care of the matters related to the companies. So, for example, an individual has any fight with anyone, they can go to the courts, district court, high court, Supreme Court, and the companies have any disputes or anything, then they can apply to the National Company Law Tribunal. They have different body corporates and different individuals who are working in this organization, and as per the requirement, your case will be taken by any of the members over there. Is that clear, children? So partnership versus joint stock company. What is joint stock company? Any company or joint stock company, any word can be interchangeably used whenever we talk about the differences between partnership and joint stock company. Now let's move to the second point of differences, that is partnership versus club. What is the meaning of club? I told you that if you have joined any kind of club, say for example, you have taken gym membership of Gymkhana Club. There's a club from which you have taken a gym membership, or it's a golf club. So, do you become the member or do you become the partner of that club? No, ma'am. The relationship is as a member. You just become a member means you're participating, you have paid a fees, and you will go and utilize those facilities, and you will not take the property also at home. Are you interested in the property? No, ma'am. We're not interested in the property. Say, for example, if you have joined certain golf club and you go out for dinner over there, and can you say that I've paid my membership fees? Can I take this chair of yours to my home? No, you're not allowed to do that. You're not interested in the property of the club. It does not belong to you. But in case of partnership, the property belongs to you. You are the owner of that partnership property. Is that clear? So here you are having a motive of profits. In club, you're not having a, yes, NPO that can be considered, Pavan Kumar. Good. So in clubs, you're not having any profit motive. You're just giving your membership fees. Change in the partners affect the existence. Change in the members will not. So partners, if there are three partners ABC. One new partner has come, then it becomes ABCD associates. If two partners have left, then it becomes AB associates. So this will not affect the club. So you are the member of golf club, now you have left it. Will the club get closed because you have left it? No. So the change in number of members will not affect the existence of the club. And what is the difference between partnership firm and co-owners? Partnership firm is an expressed and implied contract that you are having. In co-owners, it is only by inheritance or it is a kind of an operation of law. Operation of law means like you have either inherited the property from your parents, or by operation of law means the case where we have discussed that both of us are going to share the rental income of that land. Implied agency is always present in partnership, but there is no agency relationship in case of co-ownership. Neither in case of club there is agency relationship, neither in case of company, nor in the case of co-ownership. Agency relationship is only and only present in the partnership. What is the nature of interest? Here you are sharing the profit and losses both. In case of co-ownership, we are simply sharing the profits, not necessarily the losses. And how can you transfer the ownership? Only with the consent of partners, without consent. So co-ownership, I can transfer my interest. So you and me purchase the land in Delhi, out of which we were getting 20,000 rent. Now I have given the consent to someone. Without the consent, I can transfer my interest ownership to someone else. So now B and C are taking care of that land and they will be getting the rental incomes. But here you need the consent of all the partners. Is that clear, children? And then the difference between partnership versus association. Associations can be any kind of associations, like for the social cause or any legal cause or any other kind of charitable or religious associations. You're forming certain kind of associations that, okay, fine, Diwali has just recently happened. So we thought of having a Diwali party. All of the society people are contributing and they're holding up the events and Diwali party. Is it a partnership that all the society members are doing? No, ma'am, it is an association. Association means an organization where people have come together for a social cause. Their intention is not to enter into business. But in partnership, your main intention is to do business with each other. You're sharing the profits of the business and you're running the business for profit motive. Yes, Vedant Gupta, it is a kind of an association. That's correct. Where few people come together to do a specific kind of business, it is known as an association of organization. All right. Yes, they have associations for corporate social responsibility, Lokesh. That's correct. But that is again part of your Chapter 9 of Companies Act 2013, which you do in your CA Inter. All right. Okay. So now I just want to give you a 2 minutes break. You will quickly go through the differences that we have done till now. And then we will quickly do all the differences of partnership versus Hindu undivided family. Meanwhile, just quickly go through the differences so that if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So we are taking a small 2-3 minutes break over here. Okay, quickly go through the topics. You have gone through the points of differences. Any doubts, children? Anyone wants to ask anything? Because then we will proceed further. Differences between Hindu undivided family. So partnership is created by an agreement, but in HUF, you get the rights by status. Anil is asking, ma'am, who is a co-owner? Okay, एक second. Anybody else have any question? Vidhan, all those kind of bodies that you're asking will be the statutory bodies incorporated under different acts of the parliament. So if you talk about ICAI, it is incorporated under ICAI Act. So when we do Companies Act, there I will explain you how these statutory bodies are having their own kind of associations. Okay. Anil, a co-owner means a person who is a joint owner. If you ask me in Hindi, like you and me, आपने और मैंने एक joint property इकट्ठे खरीदी. So we are having interest in that property. You are getting 50% share, I am getting 50% share. So मतलब दो ओनर जब होते हैं, दो लोग इकट्ठे उसको ओनरशिप है उनकी, ठीक है, दैट इज नोन एज को ओनर. तो या तो आपको इनहेरिटेंस से मिली है या फिर बाय लॉ मींस आपने एग्रीमेंट साइन करा है किसी के साथ कि हम दोनों जॉइंट प्रॉपर्टी होल्ड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ को ओनर. सो लॉ ट्राइज टू टेल यू दैट को ओनर्स आर नॉट पार्टनर्स विद ईच अदर. Now, HUF is very, very interesting, children. HUF tells you that the right in the family is created by status, means by birth you become the partner, but in a partnership you become the partner by an agreement. Liability of the partners is unlimited. Here, the liability of Karta is unlimited. So there are many points of differences which are given, and it is basically, you know, when you were doing business studies, you must have done different forms of organization. So I'm sure you must have studied in detail about HUF over there. Have you? Yes or no? So there you have done all these kind of points that Karta has unlimited liability, other members have the limited shares, and in partnership, all the partners have unlimited liability. In case of partnership, the number of members is restricted to 50, but in case of HUF, members can carry on the business, can be unlimited because it's a family business. Minor can become a partner in partnership firm only for the benefits and with the consent of partners. But in HUF, do you need a minor to sign an agreement? Tell me, children. Will you take the consent of other peoples in order to make a minor to be a member in HUF? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? No, ma'am, because by birth only he becomes a partner. Very good. All of you have answered it correctly. Let me see the students. What are they doing over here? Are they answering it or not? Yes, Mr. Kaushal. Ma'am, what is the amendment given in the module related to HUF? Okay, Miss Kavita, we'll just go through that also. Yes, Mr. Karmane, cricket associations, all these kind of associations are the examples which are different from the partnership. Yes, Kavita Gunjal, club can be, a club means not for profit organization, means that you are not having any profit motive over there. So there can be clubs which are for profit and which are for non-profit also. Okay. Okay, Kavita, we'll just take that point from the study material. Let's take certain points of HUF from, but before that, let me test your knowledge also. I have certain MCQs which you could answer me, and then we will proceed with the study material. Okay. So a firm is the name given to the partners, the minors in the firm, the business under which the firm carries on the business, or it is the collective name under which it carries the business. What is the meaning of the word firm? Vedant Gupta is saying A. Niharika is saying A. Because, you know, why did you say A? Because you have not read all the options. So Natasha, Nandini, and all those who have given the option D, that's the correct answer. Firm is the collective name under which you carry on the business. All the partners collectively are known as a firm. Name given to the partners. Partners are individual. A, B, and C are the partners. But collectively, they all are known as firm. Did you understand? Okay. Ansupa, Saleha, Lakesh, all of you have given the correct answer. Palak, Piyush, Sapna, Sabera, Yash. Good. Divyansh, everyone has given the correct answer. The true test for partnership is business sharing of profits, agreement, mutual agency. If I ask, choose one of them. Who is speaking in between? Yes, Vedant Gupta, you want to say something? You can raise your hand if anyone wants to speak, Beta. Yes.
Agreement, ma'am.
So which is the correct answer? Somebody is saying sharing of profits. Somebody is saying agreement only. What is the true test for partnership?
Mutual agency.
Yes, Kiran, you want to say something, then you have to raise your hand, Kiran. You cannot speak in between like this. Good, Lokesh. You have selected the option which is not even given. Yes, Vivek. Now speak.
मैम ऑल एबव होना चाहिए था.
Very good. That's nice, but it's not an option which is given over here. Then what will you do?
शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स.
Even if I'm not having mutual agency, you will be happy to have sharing of profits.
नो मैम म्यूचुअल एजेंसी इसीलिए तो ऑल ऑफ द एबव होना चाहिए था. कंफ्यूजन है इसमें.
Yes, absolutely correct. All of you are correct. Those who are having a confusion in this. So the true test of partnership, not all of the above, but yes, sharing of profits, agreement and mutual agency as per section 6, B, C and D should be the correct answer, but collectively. If any certain kind of question comes, so we have to apply our mind that, okay, fine, we're sharing the profits, we have an agreement. But today we did a very important point that I told you, that is the conclusive evidence. Even if all the ABC points are present, if D is absent, it will not be a partnership. So the basic cardinal principle, the true test, if I have not given all of the above, then D has to be the correct answer. So applause for all of those who have did D. Yes, Vedant Gupta is saying, yes, ma'am, we did a case law also on it, mutual agency. Excellent. Kiran, Ansupa. Kiran, now you have said D. Earlier you were saying something else. Ritika, Lakesh, Shankur, Naina, Piyush, Nandini, Naina Verma, all of you are correct. Okay? Good. So mutual agency, but what Vivek raised a point and others raised a point about all of the above, that is also correct. But if the examiner gives you such kind of question, first of all, MCQs is not going to come in your CA foundation, but still, just to have a quick recap of thinking caps we are wearing, we're testing our knowledge, what we have understood, it's important to do it. Okay. So A, B, and C are three partners. A purchased furniture for business purpose from D. Can D, the supplier, recover the money from B and C as well? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? And why also? I want the answer. Why yes, why no? Almas, Anil, Piyush, good answers, but I need the why. Yes, mutual agency is correct. Who is writing this? Ankur Narayan, your answer is correct. That is what we just explained you. Because one of the partner acting as whole cardinal principle. All of you have given the correct answers, children. Well done. So yes is the correct answer because on the basis of mutual agency. Now please read question number 4. Which of the following is not an essential element of partnership? Agreement between the partners, sharing of profit between all the partners. The business must be carried within 6 months from the agreement, and the business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. C, all of you have given the correct answer because there is no certain condition of 6 months, so it's absolutely clear. Okay, in the basis of absence of agreement to the contrary, how are the partners going to share the profits? They will not get any profits. They will share it in the capital ratio, share the profits equally, or none of the above. What is the correct answer for 5th? Absolutely correct. Wonderful, children. All of you have given the correct answers. Equally is the correct answer. Now read this question very carefully. The position of minor is same and partnership as well as in HUF. True or false? Can we say that minor is treated equally? Why false? Can anyone tell me? Pratha has written false. Everybody has written false. Lokesh says true. Oh my God. All of you have given the correct answer, false. That's correct. But why false? Because, ma'am, in minor, as per the agreement, you can become a partner, but in HUF, by status, by birth, you become a partner. So both the cases are different. Okay, now, kinds of partnership we will do in the next class. Before that, I want to take up certain points from the study material. Somebody was asking me a question from the study material. Related to which point, beta? Joint Hindu family. Amendment in the Hindu Family Act adults all the members. All right, are you talking about this amendment? It simply tries to tell you that in the Hindu Succession Act, so HUF is formed under Hindu Succession Act. So now they say both female and male members can become the co-partners in HUF. So they enjoy equal rights. There is no, so even the female can be a Karta member. Now it is not necessary. Earlier the Karta was only a male member. Now we can have females also who can act as the Karta. Who is the Karta? Karta is the manager or the leader of the family. So equal rights have been given to both males and females. All right. Then calling for the accounts, it is the same points here. It is governed by Indian partnership. This is governed by Hindu law. Family business hai. Minors capacity we have done. Let's do about the point of continuity. A firm continues till it is dissolved, but joint Hindu family continues till it is divided. So once you have divided, yes, Ankur Narayan, good. So Lokesh, that means you did not read the question carefully, right? So nice, great. Okay, no problems. So here you can only once it is divided, then it becomes a divided business. Then it is not a joint Hindu family business. Number of members, how many number of members you can have in HUF? Answer me in the chat box. 50, 100 or what? Number of members in HUF? Unlimited. Excellent. And how many in partnership? How many members in partnership can we have? 100 or 50? 50. Good. Each partner is defined by his share or virtue of the agreement. Here in HUF, no partners have co-partners has a defined share. Everyone is fluctuating share. So if a husband is earning, wife is getting the money from that. So all it's a joint family business. Any doubts in co-ownership and joint ownership, children? Any doubts over here? Any doubts between association and partnership? We have done all these points. Anyone having co-partner means the other members. Nena Verma. So I am the Karta of the family. Let's assume that all of the present over here, we are doing a Hindu undivided family. I am the Karta. So female member can also be the Karta. That means the leader of the family, somebody who is managing all the accounts, taking care of all the things. And other people, other partners are known as co-partners. So like we have other partners, other members, here the term co-partners is used. Okay, is it clear, beta? And Lokesh Verma has given a very correct answer, 100 as per the Act, but companies rules 2014 has restricted it to 50. So that's wonderful. Okay, before we proceed further, anyone wants to speak anything? Anyone has any doubts you want to discuss, you want a clarity? Yes, Karta is the eldest person, Pavan Kumar. That's correct. You can take the eldest person also as the Karta, but the what recent amendment we were discussing, they can be male and female. Anyone can act as a Karta. Okay, Nandini Sharma wants to speak first. Yes, Nandini.
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम।
Good afternoon.
मेरे को ना ये वाला डाउट हो रहा था कि क्वेश्चंस कैसे पिकअप करूं मैं। मतलब मैं यूनिट पढ़ती हूँ, उसके बैक ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कंप्लीट कर लेती हूँ, लेकिन मेरे को लॉ की जो लैंग्वेज होती है वो मतलब ऐसे बुक टू बुक नहीं आ रही है, और कैसे प्रेजेंट करूँ मैं कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है।
मैंने जब सेशन शुरू करा था, I told you one thing. First of all, we don't have to say that I don't know. Tell yourself I know everything. ठीक है ना? हमने हमेशा हार्ड वर्क करना है एंड ये सोच के रखना है कि मुझे सब आता है। सेकेंड चीज नंदिनी, आपने क्या करना है, जब आपका चैप्टर कंप्लीट हो जाएगा तब बुक के पीछे जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्वेश्चंस दिए हुए हैं, ट्राई राइटिंग देम विद योर ओन हैंड्स, डू द राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस. And after you have completed full chapter, like in partnership, we have done chapter 1, 2, and 3. Then I will also take you to the mock test papers and revision test papers only related to partnership. Then you start practicing them. The things become much more clear. That is how you have to pick up the things.
ओके मैम।
Okay?
लेकिन मेरे को ये हो रहा है जैसे यूनिट खत्म हो गया, यूनिट 1 खत्म हो गया, उसके बैक ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस लिख के देख भी लिए, लेकिन जो लॉ की जो लैंग्वेज होती है, जैसे सीनियर से सुने कि लॉ की लैंग्वेज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो वो फ्रेम करनी नहीं आ रही, मतलब नॉर्मल इंग्लिश तो आ रही है लेकिन वो फ्रेम करनी नहीं आ रही है।
ओके, तो आपने क्या लिखना होता है? अगर आपको सेक्शंस, पहली बात मैंने बता दिया, कंपल्सरी नहीं है, आप लिख सकते हो एज पर दी प्रोविजंस ऑफ, अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है तो इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट, पार्टनरशिप है तो एज पर दी प्रोविजंस ऑफ इंडियन पार्टनरशिप एक्ट। फिर जो भी प्रोविजन आपने पढ़ा हुआ है आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में लिख सकते हैं, बट आप लॉ को चेंज नहीं कर सकते, बदल नहीं सकते हो। बट अगर आपने लर्न करा हुआ है देन इट बिकम सिंपलर फॉर यू टू राइट इट। ओके, सो यू हैव टू लर्न इट, सो लर्निंग पार्ट को आपको इम्प्रूव करना पड़ेगा।
यस मैम, थैंक यू।
ओके बेटा, नो प्रॉब्लम। यस दिव्यांश।
मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन है, आपने बोला कि HUF जो है, जॉइंट हिंदू अनडिवाइड, जो अगर वो ब्रेक हो गई, डिवाइड हो गई, तो HUF नहीं कहलाती। तो
नहीं, फिर नहीं
फिर हल्दीराम फिर क्या कहलाएगा मैम, क्योंकि हल्दीराम HUF था।
so if it is divided, see, I'll show you. Once it is divided, then it is not known as this joint family business. Then they have a different kind of things. Let me tell you, share in the business. It says till the time you're not divided, तब तक तो आपका same business चलता रहे. But a family continues till it is divided. Means if you're talking about Haldiram, till the time they were having joint family business, everybody will be having the equal share of profits and how they have made the arrangement. But the joint family status is not affected by the death of the member. You have to be divided. If you have divided your business, then आप individually अपना अपना business carry करो. But अगर किसी की death हो जाती है, that will not affect. By birth or by death, HUF is not affected. But if it is divided, then you have your separate business. Then you don't have that joint pool of business. Okay. And secondly, Divyansh, we only have to consider it as the points of differences with the partnership, because HUF अपने आप में हिंदू लॉ में बहुत डिटेल में दिया हुआ, तो हमें वो सारा नहीं करना है, ठीक है ना? हल्दीराम is anyways now I think incorporated into a company also. You'll have to check the latest status. Okay, Lokesh says it's an unlisted company. Yeah, it is now a company. So you cannot just keep comparing what is happening over there. You simply have to learn the points of differences. Okay. Clear? Anybody else? Pavan Kumar says, ma'am, learning sections help us to remember provisions. So that is wonderful, Pavan Kumar, because today we did 2 sections. Section 4 give you all the essential elements. Section 6 tells you about the 3 basic points. So if you can learn, nothing great than that, but never ever write a wrong section in your exam. Okay, if you can learn, you can write the sections also. Yes, Lokesh, you can write that summary also in your points, but the thing is that you cannot write the summary in your answers, because you cannot, sometimes children ask me, ma'am, the way you were making flowcharts, can we make the flowcharts in the exam? No, you have to write proper law and make them understand what you are talking about. Just 1 minute, Vivek. Let me just see in the chat box if any questions. Characteristics, there must be an agreement. Agreement must be to share. Yes, Vedant Gupta, I don't think you have any doubt. You're just writing the answer. Yes, Vivek Vishwas.
मैम आपके नोट्स से पढ़ाई करने पे हो जाएगा ना मैम?
हाँ जी बेटा, बिल्कुल हो जाएगा, और आपको विश्वास रखना है कि हो जाएगा. दैट इज व्हाट आई टोल्ड यू जब मैंने सेशन शुरू करा.
जी जी मैम, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू.
वेलकम. All right, anyone having any more doubts? Anything you want to ask? Any more clarity? Or we can proceed further. You want to do the balance topic today only? Yes. Okay, since we have 5 minutes, I will just give you a briefing of this and then we will take up in the next class also. Kinds of partnership. Okay, many of you have left the session in between. So there can be 2 types of partnership regarding duration, with regard to duration and with regard to the extent of business. So broadly, we have 4 types of. Yes, Lokesh, that's day after tomorrow, we'll be having the next class. So we have, with regard to duration, partnership at will and partnership for a fixed period. So when we fixed period, okay, let me just explain you about these 2 points only, because many of you have left in between. So what is the meaning of partnership for a fixed period? So when I have determined the period for my partnership, say for example, Kiran, Vidan and Sheikh Ibrahim, 3 of them decided to join as a partner with each other. And they made an agreement. Today it's 19th November 2024, and we will be partners for 3 years, that is till 2027, 25, 26, 27. So after 19th November 2027, this partnership will automatically come to an end. Why? Because it was for a fixed period. When you have the partnership for a fixed period, then the period is determined. Okay, all right, Ankur. I'll just explain you about that question. So after that fixed period, the partnership will come to an end. But what is partnership at will? What is the meaning of will? Can you answer me in the chat box? Will means choice. As per my choice. If I want to study, I will study. If I don't want to study, I'll sit idle. So that is my choice, voluntary. Okay. So Ankur Narayan Singh is again asking, ma'am, I am also facing the same problem, how to write answer in the exams. Okay, so many of you have written this common query. So in the next class, once we have done with the chapters, I'll make you understand how you have to write the answers basically for the case laws. So I'll explain you how, first of all, children, learning has to be done. You cannot say that I have not learned, now I don't know how to write. So if you have not learned, then you will not be able to write the answers. So learning is where, okay, Ankur, I understand, beta, but still I'll make you understand how to write the answers, but learning has to be done. Okay, so there must be something which you are doing wrong in your exam. That can be the reason. Okay, so if you have learned well, if you have prepared well, the exam, the question paper will seem very, very simple to you. But if you have not done all the chapters well, you have left few of the chapters, you have not covered the whole of the syllabus. Say, for example, I did whole of the chapter of partnership, but I have not done the types of partners. The examiner gives you question out of the types of partners. Obviously, you will not be able to write it. So learning has to be done. So first you will learn the concept and then I will teach you how to write the answers. Is that clear? So I hope you all enjoyed the session. And anyone still has any doubts, you can ask it. We still have 2 minutes more to go. If you want to ask any doubts, you can ask me because that topic is little lengthy, partnership at will. So I'll take up in the next class only. All right. So no more doubts, children? Okay. Thank you, Palak. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Vedant. Thank you, Nandini. I'm glad everything is clear. So that's great. Good. Arushi Verma, Akshit, Karmane. Okay, Kavita Gunjal, I hope your point was clear. Now we have taken up the amendment point also. Thank you, Lukesh. Thank you, Naina Verma. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everyone. All right. All right, students. See you day after tomorrow. Please revise whatever we have done till now and all the points of differences. Try to learn them. Okay. Yes, sir. Sir, annotations का देख लेना. I need annotations next class में ना, जिससे हम pen use कर सकते.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have doubt in last point in
Please raise your
partnership and
hand. You
company
cannot
defense.
speak without raising your hand. Please raise your hand first. Yes, Akshat, now speak.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am. I have doubt in partnership and company last point difference, ma'am. Can you explain?
Can you just read it out?
Partnership and company difference between last point I have.
Okay, let me just open it. Winding up, this one?
Yes, ma'am.
So, you want me to explain you in Hindi?
Yes, ma'am.
वाइंडिंग अप का मतलब होता है क्लोज हो जाना, बंद हो जाना. तो कंपनी को जो बंद करते हैं ना, उसके लिए बहुत बड़ा प्रोसीजर है. नेशनल कंपनी लॉ ट्राइब्यूनल, ये कोर्ट होता है कंपनी का, जिसके पास हम जो हमें कहता है कि अब आपको कंपनी को बंद करना पड़ेगा. सो कंपनी को बंद करने के लिए उसका नाम हमें बुक्स में से कटवाना पड़ता है. कंपनी एक सेपरेट लीगल एंटिटी है. जब कंपनी बनाते हैं तो एक अलग से एक इंडिविजुअल की तरह एक बंदा जन्म लेता है, जैसे वैसे कंपनी होती है, जो कि दिखाई नहीं देता. ये आप समझोगे मेरे साथ कंपनीज एक्ट में. बट पार्टनरशिप को डिसॉल्व करने के लिए हमें सिंपल डिसोल्यूशन, आपस में हमने एग्री करा तो हम पार्टनरशिप को बंद कर सकते हैं. तो वाइंडिंग अप वाला पॉइंट आपको सिंपल बता रहा है कि कंपनी का बंद होना एक कॉम्प्लिकेटेड प्रोसेस है, जिसमें रजिस्ट्रार ऑफ कंपनीज इन्वॉल्व है, जिसमें नेशनल कंपनी लॉ ट्राइब्यूनल इन्वॉल्व होता है. ये सब बताएंगे तो कंपनी बंद होती है. बट पार्टनरशिप को आपस में आपने एग्रीमेंट कर कर पार्टनरशिप बनाई थी, और आपस की एग्रीमेंट से आप पार्टनरशिप को क्लोज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, क्लियर अक्षर?
यस मैम, एक और डाउट है. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी कंपनी में, कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी कंपनी में 1 मिनट मैम. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी एंड कंपनी गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट will be in form of in cooperative society. How, ma'am?
So cooperative society and company we'll do when we do Companies Act. Okay, this topic we'll cover in the Companies Act.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, all right.
Ma'am, your teaching is very nice, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Akshay. God bless you. Thank you.
I had a good day with you, good experience with you.
Thank you, beta. God bless you all. Thank you and see you day after tomorrow now. All right.
Today we'll get this PDF now, ma'am.
Yes, you'll get the PDFs in a day or so. 1-2 दिन में आपको सारे PDFs मिल जाएंगे, ठीक है?
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Ashok sir. We can leave for the day.